Launching a Ranger aluminum boat that's cut full of holes may sound a little crazy, but with so much closed cell foam inside, it's easy to see the added safety and stability. It's a huge confidence booster, especially with so much quality inside, along with ever-new E-Tech's unrivaled performance and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger aluminum is built to excel and priced to be yours.
Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
Bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Bass fans, and welcome to the Wild West Bass Trail Team Championship Arizona 2017. I'm your host, Jimmy Savoini. This is Jim Guggenauer, and we're going to be bringing you guys all kinds of information, kind of setting you up for what is Championship Day here for our top 10, and we're going to go through some of the different things that has brought us to this point. This has been a 3-day event, and the first 2 days, the full field of 42 very talented teams fished. And then we cut to the top 10, and those guys gathered up this morning at daylight, and they went for the gusto. So I was out there all day. I've been on the water. I've talked to a lot of them. I'm going to kind of give you guys an idea, set you up for the weigh-in. The guys are on their way up the hill here. They're going to be here in a little while to weigh the fish in right here live in front of you. First of all, though, I want to thank a few folks, and I want to talk a little bit about where we're at and what's going on. So I want to thank the town of Payson, Arizona, which is about 30 to 40 miles north of Roosevelt Lake, where we held our event. And this municipality has gone out of its way to hold a festival today, kind of centered around this event. So we could, we've got vendors, we've had live reenactment gunfights, we've got a country and western band, all kinds of food, really cool stuff, and a nice gathering of folks here today to enjoy the sport that we all love, which is competitive bass fishing. So I want to thank them first and foremost for giving us this fine venue to hold this event in and the finals of this exciting tournament. And I also want to thank our sponsors, namely Wild West Bass Trail. They're new here out west. This is our second year, and Wild West is trying to bring a higher level of fishing to the western United States and give a lot of guys that don't have the time or the resources to really move back east and fish full time a very high level to come and fish on with TV, with sponsorship recognition, and multi-day tournaments with 100+% payback. And so Wild West Bass Trail has been able to do that both in the team fishing format, which you're going to see today, and also a pro-am, a draw format. We run that in California and Arizona both, and we're really, really excited and fortunate to have these folks step up, pump the resources, money, time, effort into our sport so we can enjoy this level of fishing and don't have to leave our jobs and our kids and everything else and still try to fish as professionally as possible. So thank you, Wild West. Thank you, Payson. Jim, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I did echo everything that was said. You know, the town of Payson and the Parks and Recreation Department, there's an economic impact to these tournaments. They actually bring money. The anglers come here to fish, and it promotes the business. Right now, we're on a worldwide internet, and we're talking about Payson, Arizona. Those things are good. That's a benefit to our town, It helps the community. And I personally thank the mayor and Cameron Davis and people that help us put these things on, because they give us a green light. Just go work with them. And it's so great to work with an organization like Wild West Bass Trail. I mean, they're easy to work with. They're professional. They're conservationists. They start with the conservation matter, and it brings a great event together for, we call it a championship Saturday, and you're all part of it today.
So let me set the stage here and tell you guys kind of how this is going to go down. So as I mentioned before, we had 2 full days, Thursday and Friday, where the full field fished. Now, the format is a 7-fish limit, so each team is allowed to catch 7 fish over 13 inches long, either smallmouth or largemouth, and they can cull their weight up as they go. They can only possess 7 at any one time during the fishing day, but if they catch one, they can bump a smaller one out. Well, then they'll let that one go, and then they'll put the other one in. And the idea is to have the heaviest weight that you possibly can for 7 fish at the end of the day. So after the first 2 days, we had then we cut to our top 10. So it's the aggregate weight of 2 days. So you take your first day's weight, add it to your second day's weight, and then you carry that forward into today's championship. So what we have here shaping up in our top 10 is just really what I see as a shootout. I mean, our leading team of Ty Au and Russell Mortensen, they came into today with 30.96 for 2 days, so just a little bit over 15.5 pounds, about 15.5 pounds. And then Mike Spain, Dustin Robinson at 30.64. Michael Perry, David Burns, 29.96. Davis Hart, Jason Blauvelt, 29.79. Shane Moline, Todd Herman in 5th place, 29.46. Justin Kerr, Gunnar Stanton, 6th place, 26.11. Max Hernandez and Josh Reed, 26.03. Johnny Johnson, you guys might know him, local personality, has a fishing show. Everybody knows Johnny. 8th place, and him and Andrew Napoleon, they came in with 25.93. Then this next guy, 9th place, you guys might have heard of him, Clifford Perch, and his partner Buddy Randall, local favorites, and also obviously Clifford on the national scene too, doing what he's done. 25.59 to get into the 9th place position, and then Tommy Jonovich and Sean Coffey snuck in with 25.12 to 10th place. So you see, you got about a 6-pound difference from 1st to 10th, and with a 7-fish limit and the size of the fish that we know swim around in Roosevelt Lake, it's anybody's ball game if they could line it up out there. Don't you think, Jim?
Absolutely. The term you're going to hear today from several of our fishermen is we went for the fences. We went to hit a home run, because the way this tournament's played out the last couple of days, one fish makes a big difference. So I guarantee you that they went out there and tried to catch a limit early, and then they started to try to call with bigger fish. So I guarantee there's going to be anglers that will tell you either they went for the fence and they caught a big fish, or they went for the fence and struck out. You're going to hear both sides of it.
Well, and that's kind of how things usually set up. And so, well, what we deal with, and this is no exception over the course of 3 days, these anglers are going to have to process a lot of information and make decisions based on what they see out there. And so for the first day of the tournament, we had temperatures in the upper 90s. We had high pressure. The water was flat, and things were really kind of stagnant, if you will. That high pressure just kind of, I mean, it's a great time to be out on the lake. There's no wind blowing. It's really calm. But the fish act completely different than they do then on a day. We've got pretty good breeze here today. That'll completely change things around. So, you know, these fishermen have had to process information over the course of 3 days, make decisions based upon what they were seeing, what they were finding, what they weren't finding, and how they were getting their bites. And so you're going to see and you're going to hear a lot of stories about guys that made the right decisions, made the switches when they needed to, either left an area, went to another area, or changed baits, changed tactics, did something that made a difference for them. And you're going to hear guys say that they shoulda, coulda, woulda, mighta, and didn't, and things kind of went sideways from there. So that's the essence of tournament fishing. I mean, it's all about the decisions you make and the places you go, and so that is one of the things that keeps us really on the edge of our seat a lot of times when we're watching these competitions and see how these guys shake out the way that they fish and the decisions that they make.
Right. You know, and it's amazing. A lot of our local anglers who fish Roosevelt Lake understand some of the problems when something's not working, and how long do you stay with that bait before you change to another one. And it's very informative to talk to these anglers and see how their decision-making process works. I'll give you an example. They were telling us a couple of days ago that first thing in the morning they were looking at a post-spawn bite, so a reaction bite. So they were throwing baits that you'd react to, spinner baits and jerk baits and those types of things. They gave that a couple hours, and that bite kind of died down. They went to a drop shot. Well, they went to a drop shot on the light side. They were fishing kind of shallow, smaller worms, smaller robo worm type things, smaller test line. That didn't work. So they just slid their boat out a little bit deeper and went to a bigger style of drop shot, and boom, that's where they found the fish. But it's interesting to hear these guys go through their decision-making process to where they can find fish.
And to build on that a little bit too, I mean the drop shot too, but those guys made those switches kind of quick. And another one that came into play was the stick bait, or as a weightless stick bait, and our sponsor Gary Yamamoto Custom Baits makes the best one in the world. It's called a Yamamoto Cinco, and you're gonna hear guys talk about the Cinco a lot. When the weather's flat and the fish are holding tight to cover, then the Cinco is just kind of unobtrusive, slow falling, goes down there and get in the base of a lot of this brush or the trees, and those fish just can't resist it in there. So that's another go-to bait when things kind of flatten out and things really slow down. There's not a lot of bait moving around. You can often tempt those fish with a weightless stick bait. Got one right here. As a matter of fact, this is a Yamamoto Cinco. So you got a stick bait that's just weightless, and the weight of the lure is actually what causes it to have action. And so guys have been throwing that a bunch and getting bites where you probably normally wouldn't on, say, a topwater bait or some other reaction type bait. So you're going to hear a lot of talk about that. There's going to be guys that really did well and maybe even win the tournament throwing nothing but a Cinco alone. So you're going to hear a lot about that going into what made these guys catch them or not.
Absolutely. And you're going to hear in deeper water too. And this post-spawn, those fish are moving off beds. They're moving into more of a summer pattern. As Jimmy said, it's starting to heat up down there in the lake. It's the first weekend we've seen the kind of heat that's going back into there. So we're going to hear deeper fish. We're going to hear these slow-moving baits, and we're going to see some big fish. So we're going to take our break here. We'll be right back to Wild West Bass Trail. Stay tuned.
You bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine Products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine Products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Launching a Ranger aluminum boat that's cut full of holes may sound a little crazy, but with so much closed-sail foam inside, it's easy to see the added safety and stability. It's a huge confidence booster, especially with so much quality inside, along with ever-new E-Tech's unrivaled performance and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger aluminum is built to excel and priced to be yours.
Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
And welcome back to beautiful Payson, Arizona, site of the Wild West Bass Trail Team Championship Arizona Division 2017. I'm your host, Jimmy Savoini. I'm here with Jim Guggenauer. We're talking top 10 bass fishing. We're talking Wild West. We're talking championship trophies and everything in between. I want to talk a little bit now about the lake as it is, our golf course, so to speak, the playing field that these guys have had to deal with in the last 3 days. And talk about what's the changes that it has experienced in the last 6 months that are really going to benefit this fishery and just the recreation opportunities overall. So in about December, we started getting a lot of rain and a lot of snow in the high country, and we had some significant storms that came through and started experiencing a lot of water coming into the lake. Now, for the last 10 or so years, the lake has been on a drawdown, and it was probably 65 to 70 feet below full pool and never able to recover all of the water. So in the meantime, you had a lot of vegetation that had grown up on the banks, had a chance to take a foothold there, and we had all this new growth that we'd experienced. Well, since December till now, and it's still coming up a couple inches a day, we received about 45 foot worth of new water, and it's covered up all of that growth, and we have now just a phenomenal amount of brush and all kinds of bushes and log jams and laydowns and all kinds of places for a bass to hide, and also the bait fish that they rely on. And so it's really kind of what we call a new lake effect. We've got a lake that's really going to be recharged with the resources that have come into it, and that's exciting for what's going to happen here in a couple years. And what it does for these guys is it really levels the playing field for the fishermen, because it gives the bass so many places to hide, so many places to be. So, you know, the predictability that might be on a half pool lake where you've got rock piles or you've got certain coves where the fish have a tendency to bunch up, they've now scattered out, and they're all using that newly available cover that they found. And so what that means in the long run is that you're going to see a population explosion in both the forage fish, which is the shad, a couple of different kinds of shad, the bluegill, the brim, the crappie, because they're going to be successful in reproduction, and the bass right along with them. The spawning rate, the survival rate is going to be much higher because you know, the fry are able to take cover and avoid the predators that would knock them down. So it's really exciting time for Roosevelt Lake in the new water that we've received and where the fishery's headed. Don't you think, Jim?
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing that's been a big improvement is a few years ago, a lot of us knew about the gizzard shad that were in Roosevelt Lake, and they bloomed and had big numbers down there, and they were definitely affecting the fishing down there. A lot of our local anglers in the tournaments felt the effects of that, and after lots of biologists from the Game and Fish Department got involved, came up with a two-pronged solution. One is to put Florida strain bass in there, and I'm happy to say in the last 3 years, Arizona Game and Fish Department has put 1.1 million Florida strain bass into Roosevelt Lake. Now, these aren't big fish. In fact, they're very small fish, but they will grow and they will succeed and they will spawn and they will get really big. And the idea is Florida strain bass are very aggressive feeders compared to the northern bass who we typically have in our lakes out here in the west. So they hope that they'll do the controlling of it. The second piece of the solution was to install habitat. And you see some of them here. We have a Game and Fish representative here that brought some of the habitat, and they have actually deployed some of it already. Now, if anybody wants the GPS coordinates of the habitat that's in Roosevelt Lakes, I can sell it to you. You can see me right after the show. But this is going to be an ongoing process. They're going to continue to put habitat into the lake. And as Jimmy said, the more habitat, the more places for not only the larger bass, but the smaller bass to hide, the better off the fishery is going to be. So in the long run, this is going to be a great improvement for Roosevelt Lake.
There you go, Jim, ever the entrepreneur. So, you know, that's part of the exciting things. And these artificial structures, I just want to touch on that real quick. So, you know, Roosevelt is a drawdown lake. The Phoenix metropolitan area gets a lot of its agricultural water, its drinking water, residential water from the Salt River system, in which Roosevelt is the control lake. So you'll see it fluctuate more than the other lakes that fall below the dam of Roosevelt. And so when we're on the drawdown pool, you know, a lot of that new brush I was talking about, it'll be high and dry. It'll be up the bank. You won't see it. And so the idea behind this man-made structure is to put it in the places when it's on a drawdown pool and we don't have that natural cover available. Then you put some of this artificial cover in and you provide kind of a buffer zone. I mean, it's never as good as the natural cover that'll grow around the lake, but it's there something where there's nothing. And these guys have came up, and they're scientifically formulated, and a lot of research goes into the types of design on these different kinds of habitat. And so they'll put them on points. They'll put them in strategic places around rock piles where bass have a tendency to congregate. And that'll give those fish the ability to hide and kind of stay away from some of their predators when the lake's on a drawdown pool. So, you know, it's a 1-2 punch. Mother Nature gives us the kind of water we need to fill the reservoir and help us replenish it naturally. And then Game and Fish and man-made stuff helps us when Mother Nature doesn't give us what we need. So a lot of the reservoirs that I've been through to, including Havasu, which is kind of the model for all of them. I mean, I don't know how many millions of dollars they've put in Havasu with artificial structure, cover, brush piles, Christmas trees. I know they have a Christmas tree recycling program up there where people bring their old Christmas trees, they band them together, they put them in strategic locations, and all of that effort has single-handedly made Lake Havasu one of the finest lakes in the country to go fish. Same thing will happen here. It's kind of in its infancy, but it needs everybody's support because it really, really helps the fishery.
Right. You can't say enough about the water. Anyone who's been down to Roosevelt Lake recently can see all the shad that's in that lake. There is more shad in Roosevelt Lake, and shad is another word for bait fish for the bass. They're everywhere. And if you pull into shallow water somewhere and you just sit in your boat and you just sit there for a minute, turn all your electronics off, turn your motor off, and just let your boat sit there and drift, and within 1 minute you will be amazed at the amount of fish that swim out from that bush that you pulled up to. So all that spells good future for Roosevelt Lake and a lot of good news for bass fishermen and bass fishing tournaments. It wasn't too many years ago Roosevelt Lake was labeled one of the top 100 bass fishing lakes in the United States. And that was shortly before gizzard shad were found in the lake. So we're hoping that with this new solution and with the Florida strain bass that are in there and the habitat, that we'll get that under control and get Roosevelt Lake back to one of the top 100 lakes in the country.
And with that said, we're going to take another quick break. Got a couple special guests for you guys coming up here next, and we're going to cut to break. Be back with you here shortly. Thanks very much. Enjoy the day.
Bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine Products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine Products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Launching a Ranger aluminum boat that's cut full of holes may sound a little crazy, but with so much closed-cell foam inside, it's easy to see the added safety and stability. It's a huge confidence booster, especially with so much quality inside, along with ever-new E-Tech's unrivaled performance and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger aluminum is built to excel and priced to be yours.
Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
And welcome back to Payson, Arizona, Wild West Bass Trail Team Championship Arizona Division 2017. I'm your host, Jimmy Savoini, Super Clean Pro, and wanted to talk a little bit about, we've kind of told you about the anglers who are involved in this team championship, and I'll tell you a little bit about how they got here and what it took. And so this championship represents the culmination of a season of tournaments, and there was 4 regular season tournaments at different lakes. We had Mojave, we had Pleasant, Havasu, and Lake Mead, which was our last one. And so all these anglers that fish these events, they accrue points depending on how they finish. So number one was 250 points all the way down. They allocate the points, and they carry the points from tournament to tournament. And after the 4 regular season events, then we take the top 50, give them an invite to the championship, give them a chance to come fish for a Ranger boat, Evinrude outboard, some other really cool stuff. And at the end of the year, which is where we're at right now, some team had the most points, and we crowned them as our Anglers of the Year. Now, this feat is pretty amazing because you had over 200 plus teams that fished all of these events, and so everybody's gunning for an Angler of the Year title. And so an Angler of the Year title to a bass fisherman is very important because it means that you were consistent throughout the year. You were better than all the competition that you fished against. And Angler of the Year trophies probably mean more from all the way from the Bassmaster Elites. I mean, the Angler of the Year trophy is the most important thing you can win because it means you're the consistent people that do well all the time. And there's no exception here in Arizona. And we have our Angler of the Year team. They did not make the cut for the event, but they've been kind enough to show up today so we can give them a little bit of recognition, talk to them about their accomplishment, and award them the award for Angler of the Year. So at this time, I would like to bring up your Angler of the Years for 2017, Dylan Maxon and Zach Hallwerda. Stand right here, guys. Welcome, guys. Thanks a lot for coming up here. Kind of gave that the whole setup about the Angler of the Year situation, and congratulations. It was hard fought, and you guys definitely earned it. So in your own words, just tell us kind of a little bit how the season went, how things shook out, and, it's all yours.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for all coming in Wild West. It's pretty amazing to be able to fish for a boat out here and have big tournament and something to look forward to every month, every year. So thank you guys very much. The season was up and down, up and down. We both have boats. If we can keep them both running, we feel like we'd be a lot more competitive. But the fact that this is a team style event and we can keep one boat running the whole time, we made it to everyone, and we did our best. So it was pretty disappointing to be 1 ounce from the top 10, but just Angler of the Year itself is a huge accomplishment.
Well, and it's that consistency. I mean, so if you can't be 10th, you were 11th. I know that's a heartbreaker, and it doesn't help anymore. But, again, it's that kind of consistency. It's those kind of things. So tell me a little bit about what was your highest finish or a tournament, some kind of moment that sticks out in your mind. Give us a little kind of a rundown. Give everybody a feel for kind of how things went.
Our highest finish was an 8th place, and we had 8th place at Pleasant. And I think we were 22nd at Mojave, and we were 8th place at Havasu, and we were 32nd at Meade. So you don't have to win in order to win Angler of the Year. You just got to be consistent. Well,
and it's that consistency, and it's also a testament to the quality of anglers that you guys are facing. I mean, I know both you guys personally from over the years here. You're always up near the top, very consistent, up-and-coming anglers that are always there. They're always tough. So the fact that you were able to best the quality field that we had elite anglers fish with us. We've had Clifford. I mean, there's some amazing resumes out there. So all of the finishes that came together to give you guys this prize is no small feat. And I mean, okay, so you always want to win. You always want to be as high as you can. But the consistency that you showed really shows. You beat a lot of really good anglers. So once again, I'd like to congratulate you guys on your accomplishment. You're fine champions, and thank you very much for fishing Wild West Bass Trail.
Thank you. Thank you.
These are the trophies right here. Beautiful trophies for you guys. So
I'd like to thank Suzuki Law Offices and Denali Rods and Fish Giant and Ichikawa Hooks.
Very nice.
Yeah, California Reservoir Lures. The best jigs I can find as far as colors, hooks, quality, and price. They're really good jigs. He makes swim baits, everything else. Ichikawa USA, best hooks you can find as far as drop shot, high quality Japanese hooks. They're very nice.
Give us the jig sponsor one more time.
California Reservoir Lures, CRL.
Okay. Very nice.
Best thing I can find. Fish Giant, tackle testers. If you're looking for swim baits, high quality rats, good lures, they're the place to go.
All right, guys, thank you very much once again. Congratulations. Enjoy those. We'll see you again next year. Nicely done.
Thank you.
We're going to cut to break real quick, and then we're going to get ready to weigh some fish and get on with the real stuff here. So thanks, guys, for hanging with us. We'll be right back with you.
You bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine Products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine Products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
Total performance. Nowhere could it be more defined than in the Ranger Z series. With unparalleled advancements, these rigs are driven to dominate. Coupled with Evinrude E-Tech's unrivaled performance and up to 500 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance, they're the ultimate fishing machines. The legendary leadership of the Ranger Z500 series. It's the kind of feeling nothing else can touch. Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
Check. We're live? Oh. Well, yeah, I know. We're on.
Welcome back to Payson, Arizona, Wild West Bass Trail Team Championship 2017. Getting ready to weigh in some fish here very shortly. Real quickly, though, I have another special guest who just stepped up with me here. This is Angie Morgan. She's a co-owner of Wild West Bass Trail, co-founder, and a big part of the reason why we're sitting here in front of you today, because of their commitment, her and her husband Matt, to our sport and to pushing it forward to provide us this platform to play on. So welcome, Angie.
Thank you, Jimmy.
I'd just like to hear a little bit about your thoughts and your ideas, and she's also going to give us maybe a little bit of a breakdown on the prizes that we're going to be seeing handed out today. So.
Well, I mean, this has been a great event. Town of Payson has been absolutely amazing in helping us get this set up, making a big festival of this. I mean, our top 10 guys, they're fishing it for over $39,000 in money and prizes today. As we've said before, our first place winners taking home a brand new Ranger RT188 with an Evinrude 115 on the back, valued at over $25,000. Then we're going to pay out the rest of the field, 2nd through 10th. Second place is going to take home a check for $2,500. All the way down to 10th place is going to take home $500. Plus, we have a bunch of contingency money up for grabs.
A lot of great contingency money from fine sponsors. Yamamoto Baits has given us a contingency. All they have to do is have Yamamoto Baits in the boat. I believe that's $250.
$250 for that. P-Line, if they have P-Line in their boat, there's another $250. If they're wearing Costas, there's another $200. If they're using Dobbins rods, so if they have 6 Dobbins rods in the boats, there's another $500 to the highest place finisher. And then we've got to talk about Evinrude.
And we got to talk about Evinrude. So what Evinrude has done for this circuit is pretty amazing. I believe there's $1,000 on the line for this team championship. Yep. Over on the other side, on the Pro-Am side, which is a professional co-angler, two separate divisions. On the pro side, they have committed $10,000 to every tournament, and if a pro is running an Evinrude that's compliant, 2008 or newer, they're going to take home an additional $10,000. And here's what's really cool about what Evinrude's done. So if that were the case and nobody won, well, they'd walk away. They wouldn't have to pay their 10 grand out. They have guaranteed it no matter where you finish. If you're running a compliant Evinrude outboard, they break it down 5,000, 3,000, and 2,000, and so they guarantee $10,000 additional dollars to every single event. And that's the kind of sponsorship right there that really builds our sport, don't you think?
Absolutely, and I can tell you we've got some of our anglers that are some of our all-time leading money winners that haven't won an event, but they've got an Evinrude on the back of their boat, so they're taking home an Evinrude check consistently at our events.
And that would be me last year. So I actually made $8 additional $1,000 from Evinrude because I finished high enough. I beat everybody else with an Evinrude in the field. That's how it's set up. And so I benefited pretty nicely from that. So that is just incredible for what they do for this circuit.
Absolutely it is. Our guys are on their way. We just received a phone call that we had some trailers lock up. The brakes on a trailer, so they were stuck on the side of the road. We did get word that they got moving again, so these guys should be pulling in any time here.
So they'll be here shortly.
Did you talk about this?
No, so here, real quick, I can talk about this.
That's right.
You know, I brought these 2 lures up here today because I've been on the water for the last 3 days. We'll kind of talk about what went on out there. So I told you a little bit about the conditions and how calm everything was and how that kind of shuts a reaction bite down. You know, reaction meaning a moving bait, a topwater bait, a spinner bait, that kind of stuff. And so we talked about the Cinco a little bit. And I want to talk about another lure that is a major player in this event. As I went around, most of these teams we're employing this lure, and it's called an umbrella rig, or an Alabama rig, or an A rig, which most of you have probably heard of. So the Alabama rig came on the scene a few years ago. A pro named Paul Elias actually broke this thing out. It was unknown at the time. There was a tournament, big multi-day tournament down at Guntersville, and he lapped the field. And by day 2, he was throwing this Alabama rig. He basically had the tournament locked up. So it kind of sent the bass world into a frenzy. It really rocked the bass world. Everybody went crazy for Alabama rigs. There was talk about should they be illegal, how many hooks can you use,
how many blades,
and essentially how many blades does one have on it. Essentially what it is it's got a focal point head, and then it's got 6, 8, 5 wires coming out. It's got blades on it, as you can see, and so what it resembles is a ball of bait moving through the water. And so, you know, you've got some dummies on here, which the blades, they represent kind of that ball of shad effect. And then you put a couple live ones on there, and you hope, you know, some of the places in the country, you can put live hooks on every one of them. Arizona has a law. You can only have 2 hooks on a rig. So that's what this one, this particular one, you got about 8 or 10 blades on there, and then you got 2 live hooks. And there was a lot of controversy. I mean, this sent the bass fishing world on its heels. And everybody had 20 of them right away, and it just really kind of redefined our sport for a little while. Well, we've kind of settled in after a few years, and it's become it's not nearly the cheater bait that they thought it was, that everybody was going to throw from now on, and that was going to be it. But it has redefined it. There isn't a bass fisherman that I know of that fishes tournaments that doesn't have one of these rigged up in their locker, ready to go at all times. And so what we got going on out on the lake right now is a shad spawn. So the shad, they're trying to reproduce, and they move up shallow, they move around, and they move around in these tight little balls. And so this is a very good representation of that. And so the guys have figured that out. They've been throwing it all week, and you're going to hear these guys talk a lot about it. So the primary reaction bait these guys were throwing was the Alabama rig or the umbrella rig, and it's just a difference maker. And really this time of year, post-spawn, when these bass are really keying in on these spawning shad, it is a difference maker. So I saw a lot of guys hucking those around over the last few days, and you're going to see our winners are probably going to talk about how they used the Alabama rig at some point in time to win this tournament.
All right, I see some of our boats pulling in here, so we're going to get ready for a weigh-in. Are you not ready? We'll keep talking.
So, or we can
I can tell you that I was talking with Zach and Dylan earlier, and they were talking about the shad. When you were talking about the shad, and they were saying how it looked like there was green grass everywhere. They would throw their bait into it, and you could just see the shad scatter.
They're really up shallow. They pushed into a lot of these bays that are just choked with all that fresh vegetation that I've said. So, you know, everywhere you go, you see shad up shallow. And anytime, so as a competitive fisherman, what you always try to do is locate the bait, because you know if you locate bait, then there's going to be their predators, bass, are going to be close by. So when you can actually go into these cuts, and these cuts are chock full of bait, you know you're in the right area because you know there's bass close. So it makes it a little bit easier, because a lot of times we rely on our electronics to find bait and when they're deep and that kind of stuff. This really kind of takes some of that out of it when you can actually see them, and they're actually right there on the bank, and then you know you're around your bass, and you can kind of structure a game plan kind of around that. So we do actually have our anglers showing up now, so we're going to get ready to weigh some fish.
I got a question, Jimmy.
Okay.
How big a fish are we going to see today? What's your prediction?
Well, I'll tell you what. I was out there quite a while. The lake has tightened up as it does after 3 days worth of pressure from really, really good fishermen, and we have a very good group of anglers here. So there were plenty of fish caught. I think you're going to see a representative. It's probably going to mirror kind of what we've seen.
What we've seen already.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think anything's possible. I didn't see everybody, so I mean, there's a chance somebody got around the right ones and we see something crazy. But I think you're going to see some 10 to 15 pound bags weighed for 7, and maybe 2 or 3 good kicker fish. And Should be fun. I'll tell you this, it's going to be close.
All right, it's going to be exciting. Stay tuned. We'll see you back shortly.
Be right back, folks.
You bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Launching a Ranger aluminum boat that's cut full of holes may sound a little crazy, but with so much closed-cell foam inside, it's easy to see the added safety and stability. It's a huge confidence booster, especially with so much quality inside, along with ever-new D-Tech's unrivaled performance and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger aluminum is built to excel and priced to be yours.
Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
You bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Launching a Ranger aluminum boat that's cut full of holes may sound a little crazy, but with so much closed-cell foam inside, it's easy to see the added safety and stability. It's a huge confidence booster, especially with so much quality inside, along with ever-new D-Tech's unrivaled performance and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger aluminum is built to excel and priced to be yours.
Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
You bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine Products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Launching a Ranger aluminum boat that's cut full of holes may sound a little crazy, but with so much closed-cell foam inside, it's easy to see the added safety and stability. It's a huge confidence booster, especially with so much quality inside, along with Evinrude E-Tech's unrivaled performance and 300 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Ranger aluminum is built to excel and priced to be yours.
Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.
You know, I've never really had an office job.
Ooh, morning, Skate.
Morning, Edwin. Go to teamgtfishing.com to see more.
Is there a place where the underwater images are the clearest you've ever seen? We're seeing every fish, we're seeing every detail of structure, and where every bottom contour was visible, where whatever you wanted to see below the surface was real. Do you want to go? Structure Scan 3D is the future of fishing. We can show you how to find fish faster and catch fish in a way you've never experienced. Let's get them.
Welcome, Wild West Bass fans. I'm going to be your host today, Angie Morgan. We are live here at Green Valley Park in Payson for our Arizona Team Championship Top 10 final weigh-in. We'd like to take a moment to thank the town of Payson for helping put on this fabulous event we've had going on today all day long. We've had a festival going on here, along with our host hotel, the Madazel Hotel and Casino. This circuit wouldn't be possible without our many great sponsors we have that help support us. Our first sponsor is Lucas Oil, Protect the Harvest, General Tire, Ranger Boats, Evinrude Outboards, Costa Sunglasses, A&M Graphics, Super Clean, Dobbins Rods, P-Line, Gary Yamamoto, Gator Guards, and Power Pole. Just a reminder that these top 10 teams, or the first place team, is going to go home today with a brand new Ranger RT188 with an Evinrude E-Tech on the back. We have a pound and a half separating first through fifth. And we're still waiting on a few of our teams to get back down here to the weigh-in. We're going to weigh them in 10th through 1st and see who's going to be our winner. These guys are fishing for over $39,000 in cash and prizes. While we're waiting on these guys, I'm going to take a minute to talk about some of the contingency, which is bonus money these guys are fishing for. So on top of their payout, they're fishing for, if they're running an Evinrude compliant motor and they win, they're getting an additional $1,000. If our winner doesn't have an Evinrude, then we're going to pay that $1,000 down through the field. So our second highest placing finisher is going to get a check for $500. Our next highest will get $300, and then our third highest finishing angler with an Evinrude on the back is going to get $200. If our highest placing finishing team has 6 Dobbin rods in the boat, they're going to be getting an additional $500. And if it's not the winner, then the highest finishing team will get that $500. Same thing for P-Line. If they have P-Line in their boat, they're going to get another $250. If they have a Yamamoto bait in their boat, they're going to get another $250. And then when these guys sight fish, a big part of sight fishing is having your polarized sunglasses. And Costa is one of our sponsors. So if these guys have Costa sunglasses, they're going to win an additional $200. We got a few more teams we're waiting on here. All right. Let's go over. Can I go over to the tanks and talk to these guys? Do we have a camera? Anyone? Well, I was going to go over and talk to Ty. Send someone up here. Ty. I'm trying to get someone to talk to me about some fishing, but they're all over there talking to each other in the tanks here. All right, so once we get going, you guys are going to get to see all these fish these guys have caught today. So typically on a normal day, we have the bump tank down here. We have our guy bumping fish. They take them out of the water. They put them in the bag, dry bag. We come up and weigh them. Well, today, you guys are going to get to see every one of these fish that they've caught today. They're going to bring their fish up here to me on stage. They're going to pull them out one at a time, and they're going to show you guys all these fish. So we're hoping to see some big fish. All right, it looks like we're getting ready for weigh-in. So we have a team that's going to have to take our hot seat here. And right now, these are our leaders. We have Ty Al and Russell Mortensen. They're sitting in the lead right now with 30.96 for a 2-day total. What do you guys want to say?
I just want to say, wow, what a crowd. I mean, the city of Payson. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Got a good turnout. This is an awesome championship to come out here and support us.
How was it today?
You know what? I'll let the.
You're gonna.
I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Oh, all right. Russell, do you have anything to say? Ty always takes the mic. Are you excited to start off in the hot seat?
Yeah, it's not somewhere I ever expected to be, but it's a little nerve-wracking. Fishing under pressure is a little tough.
A little tough, isn't it? Ty, you're used to fishing under pressure.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
You've done a little better this year fishing under pressure, haven't you?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Do we have our 10th place team that's ready to weigh fish? Are you guys ready? All right. You guys go ahead and take a seat in that hot seat. All right. Is Tommy coming up? Okay. All right. So our 10th place team was Tommy Jonovich and Sean Coffey. They had 25.12 for a 2-day total, and they only need 5.84 to bump Ty and Russell out of that hot seat. I need a dry bag. No, just pull one out at a time. Pull one at a time and put in there. Hold it up for the cameras to see. Jeremy, I need a bag. Oh, look at that one.
Yeah, he's a baby.
Oh, was this a big one? Yeah, we're getting bigger.
That was it.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. I'm going to give you the mic. All right, let's see if this 584 or more to take the hot seat over. Oh, yeah. All right, 762. Tell us about your day, Sean.
Very tough day for us. We never actually had a bite at all. We scrambled around a ton, threw a big bait a lot today just because we knew we had to catch up quite a bit. Wish Tommy could be here. He's actually helping out another boat, so that's what kind of guy he is. The trailer base locked up on somebody else. He stopped. He's helping him out, but I'm sure you'd like to thank Gary Dobbins and Wild West, Taipan Rods for me, and it's a good day. Appreciate everything.
Thank you. All right, we're going to kick Ty and Russell out. You get to have a seat for a moment. All right, our 9th place team is our hometown team from Payson, Arizona. We have Clifford Perch and Buddy Randall. All right, I'm going to get out of your way. One of you can pull him, the other one can hold him there.
We got a couple
Cute ones. I'll call them cute ones. How about that?
Yeah, that might be a better word. Another cutie.
They're getting bigger.
It's pretty tricky fishing this week. It wasn't just easy to go out there and catch them. We had to really scramble, and it was hard to get them. We had a couple of different things we kind of figured out, but really the whole deal was the timing. And you know, if you finally hit the spot right, you could have been doing the right thing all day in the wrong place and the wrong time. And
oh, there's a good one. Yeah.
So we finally got a nice one late in the day, and you know, that one helped us out quite a bit. But golly, they were hard to come by. You know, this is the time of year where I really like to fish Roosevelt, and boy, we were struggling. You know, this was just about kind of the plow horse deal this week.
All right, you guys need 7:45 to knock Sean out of the hot seat. You guys have got it. 1386. All right, did you get any sponsors? Anyone you want to thank? Thank you.
You bet. Well, you know, it's really exciting to be able to have a tournament in Payson. You know, it's great to see some friends and family out here, and you know, that was kind of the big drive for us to make the trip to Lake Mead and Lake Mojave to qualify for this. Is we really wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to be, you know, here at home. And you know, unfortunately, we got probably the least amount of practice on Roosevelt, you know, of any lake, you know, of all time. But luckily, we kind of scrambled it together and squeaked in the top 10 and made something out of it. So, you know, we had a great time, and it's been a fun week. So, you know, appreciate you guys, you know, putting the event on, and again, we just had fun.
All right, we appreciate your support. Thank you. You guys can have a seat over here in the hot seat. Just leave that there. Yep, I'll dump it out. Thank you. All right. Our 8th place team coming up to the scales. We've got Johnny Johnson and Andrew Napoleon. All right, Johnny. You guys are going to need 1322 to knock them out of the hot seat.
Clifford.
Yep.
Comeback kid, man. I'm telling you. Good job. I'll tell you, it was just as tough for us this week. I'll tell you what, we were fortunate to get what we had yesterday, and of course struggled today and managed to get some fish. But I'll tell you what, Roosevelt's it came up. It looks nice. The fishing should get really good. It was tough this week. Like Clifford said, you know, we started out the beginning of the week trying to adjust to the conditions of what was going on. You know, we started out sight fishing the first day, and then we came back yesterday towards the end of the day and caught some topwater fish, which was really fun. And then we got a little decent fish. I don't know if we got anything to compete Clifford with, but and Buddy, but good job.
Guys are missing one.
We'll see. We're missing one.
Missing one, guys.
We had it on 5 minutes before the tournament. We had it on, but.
Oh, those are gonna go 9:43.
All right. Well, hey, we had a great. Making the top 10 was awesome, Angie.
Right.
We had a good time. Don't forget to watch Fishing with Johnny Johnson every Sunday at 9:30 in the mornings on Fox Sports Arizona. And my good old buddy Andrew from A&M Graphics has something he wants to say, which was pretty cool about this tournament because he's a sponsor of Wild West. We appreciate
the top 10.
And we love everybody here in Payson. I've always told people this, that if I didn't live in Lakeside, I'd be right down here because it's close to the lake and it's still just as beautiful as the White Mountains where I live. I love this place. Trust me. I go through it all the time, every week. But tell them why you were so excited today.
Oh, not only am I excited for the tournament itself, I wanted to say thank you to my beautiful wife, my kids, my mom's here. But something that was really cool for me is that.
Do I have to keep holding the mic for him?
Well, he can hold it.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was kind of spoiled there. Over half of the field I noticed was wrapped by A&M Graphics, and that made me very, very proud to be a sponsor of Wild West. Yeah, thank you very much.
We're proud to have you on board.
Yeah, it was great. It's been fantastic, and I can't wait to do this again. What a fantastic time.
All right.
Payson, you guys are awesome. This
That's
is incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks. All right, coming up to the stage, they're going to beat me. We have Max Hernandez and Josh Reed, and Josh is another local here from Payson. All right. How was it out there today, guys?
It was pretty good. I mean, we got our limit 3 days in a row. We limited it out all 3 days.
There we go.
We had a very solid bite on Cincos and spinnerbaits the first three pre-fishing and our first 2 days of the tournament to get us in the top 10. We knew this front was coming in with the wind, and we thought we were gonna explode on the spinnerbait bite, and it went reverse.
It went reverse.
We didn't even have our limit until almost 1 o'clock. We had 4 fish, went in a cove, and limited out in like 10 minutes, which was awesome. So I like to thank my beautiful wife. She's very supportive. She's why I'm here. My son, who's always fishing with us. Or go ahead.
Okay, you guys need 13-12 to knock them out of the hot seat. Let's see what you got. 10:36. Go ahead and you can finish thinking who you want to thank.
All right, I just want to thank my son for fishing with me, my awesome best friend, partner for doing the whole series with me. My sister, my brother-in-law, the kids come out. I'd like to thank Andrew from A&M Graphics for doing the wrap on my boat. Amp Upholstery for my upholstery and the carpet on the boat. Arizona Custom Baits. Jonathan Shook always provides me with all the baits. Chaparral Custom Baits. Ardent Reels. Peregrine 250. And who am I forgetting? Spro and Dobbin Rods. Thank you.
Josh, you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, it's just awesome to be here in my hometown. Seeing so many people out here that I know. Thank you very much to be here and have an opportunity to win a boat. I couldn't think of a better team to win it this week, Clifford Birch and Buddy Randall. So I'd like to thank my bride-to-be, Josie, for being here, my whole family, my beautiful kids. It's been an awesome week. When you come out and fish 5 days in a row with one of your best friends, truly blessed. So last least, just like to thank Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, gives me the peace to do this, and just a great day, and thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you guys very much. All right, Justin, you guys hold on for just a second. We're going to come over here, and we're going to talk with Clifford and Buddy. All right, guys, are you feeling nervous?
Oh, yeah. There's a little pressure there.
A little bit of pressure? What do you think, Clifford?
Well, you know, there's a lot of good fishermen to weigh in still, and we had pretty good mountain to climb, really. They've had bags like that all week.
That's
so,
right.
you know, I think they're probably going to get us, but, you know, hopefully we move up a few spots. You know, looks like we did a couple.
That's right.
But, you know, I'll tell you quick, I had two exciting things happen today. And the first one, I'm fishing through a little spot, and Buddy starts yelling, Cliff, Cliff, Cliff. And, you know, I start thinking, hey, he's got a 10-pounder. He sees a 7. He sees a giant one back there. Well, I looked back, and he was running towards the front of the boat. There's about a 6-foot snake coming off the bank trying to get in the boat. So, you know, the other exciting thing was we finally did get a nice one at the end of the day. And you know, that's fishing. You know, we just had a great time. But, yeah, I had to relay the buddy excitement story.
Running to the front of the boat because of the snake. All right. Our next team coming up, they're sitting in 6th spot right now. It's Justin Kerr and Gunnar Stanton. All right, they're going to need 13:04. You guys are going to fight over who's going to take the mite and who gets to touch the fish, huh?
Yeah, it was tough for everybody. Well, for us too. We didn't get any practice, so we scrambled around and caught what we can. And today we only got 6, and it was pretty tough for us today. We were kind of lost at what we were doing. So, you know, happy to get 6. Happy Wild West came out and an awesome tournament circuit. So anyone that's looking to get into tournament fishing, Wild West is a great way. So, but you know, that was pretty much it. We had a lot of issues going on this week. So Gunnar was sick yesterday, so that made it fun.
That made it fun, didn't it?
So.
But he was feeling much better today.
Yeah.
Small one. All right, that's it. All right, let's see if we've got 13:04. No. No, come on. 11:44, not quite, but hopefully enough to move you guys up a few spots.
Yeah, you know, once again, thanks everybody for coming out. I'm good friends with Cliff, so I get to come out here and trout fish a little bit with him, and I love it up here. I just wish my family would want to move up here, but they won't. So anyway, like to thank everybody else. So, and Gunner's a great team partner, and we're good friends. And he goes to school in Flagstaff, so he's a close by. So here, Gunner, you can say a couple words.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Justin for being my partner this year. I learned a lot from him, and it's pretty impressive coming out here with no practice and getting us where we were. So thanks to him, and thanks to Wild West for putting on a great tournament.
All right, thank you guys. Yeah, Justin called me, I think it was Wednesday afternoon and said, hey, I've got a problem. My truck won't run. So luckily he had a service shop that could get him fixed up and repaired on the road and get him here in time. All right, coming up to the stage, we have our 5th place team of Shane Moline and Todd Herman. All right. They're going to need 969. Todd, you look tired.
I am so tired, and if I would have saw that snake, I would have put my boat on the trailer, and I would have been here like done. That's something I just don't like. But no, I'd like to thank Wild West for coming up here and putting all these events on, and especially this crowd, Payson. Thank you very much. Again, all the guys that were helping down on Tunnel with the rhinos and everything else, giving us rides and everything, that was great. That really helps out. Basically, we came solid for 3 days. Hopefully we got somewhere around 14 pounds in this bag, but we fished all 3 days solid, looking for a really big bite. Never could get one of those big ones to go, but we got some good, decent, 2.25, maybe 2.5s to just solid bags each day.
All right, 1373.
A little bit short.
All right,
but we had a great day. We fished good, never lost any fish.
Thank you, guys.
Had a great tournament.
Thanks, Todd. Hey, I want to thank Todd more than anything right now. I wasn't able to come up and practice due to work obligations, and Todd put us on a pattern where we caught 60 fish in the last 3 days. It's phenomenal fish, and I felt like I was on a guide trip for 3 days. We were calling, we were catching fish. I mean, it was just a non-stop fishing for 3 days. So I appreciate it, Todd. Thanks for asking me to be your partner. See how this rolls.
All right, thank you, guys. All right, you guys get to take the hot seat. So we've got Shane and Todd in the hot seat right now. Coming up to the stage, we have Davis Hart and Jason Blauvelt. Yeah. All right. Got them unzipped. Hold them up for the camera as you pull them out. How was it out there today, Jason?
Well, we got into a little section where we caught one of our big fish on day number 1, and the fish were active for us, and we started getting bit. We missed, unfortunately, we didn't execute perfectly today. We missed probably 5-6 fish and a couple definitely good ones that we needed today. But finally got our last fish there at about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Kind of struggled to get that last fish. We were so happy when we finally did. So I guess we'll see where we end up here.
You guys are going to need 1340 to knock Shane and Todd out of the hot seat. We got a big one in there, Davis? Oh, you're just teasing me.
I'd also like to thank my wife for showing up here. We're driving up today from Phoenix. Also Lucky Craft, Complete Marine, Triton Boats.
All right, let's see if there's 13.4 in the bag. Oh, 1342!
So close.
All right, you guys have anyone you'd like to thank? Yeah, you got anything you want to say? Yeah, you knocked him. Yeah, Davis and Jason are now in the lead by 200.
Wow. We knew that was going to be close. We were talking in a parking lot coming back up. We knew it was going to come down to ounces. So I just want to thank Wild West for coming out here. City of Payson, I can't believe this crowd that we have out here. So thank you all for showing up. I want to thank a few of my sponsors, Sand Chevrolet, Picasso Lure, Sims Fishing Products, Cross Industries, Arizona Custom Baits, and Power Pole. And Jason and I both, this is our first year fishing together, first year as a team. We struggled through a few tournaments, but we're both just happy to be up here and be able to fish.
All right.
So thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, fellas. Have a seat over there in the hot seat. All right. Coming up to the stage, we've got our third place team of Michael Perry and David Burns. They are 1325 behind the leaders right now. All right. give this to you, David. I know he does. All right, how was it, David?
It was a tough morning.
A little bit closer. Just
pretty tough morning.
Yep.
Bite was almost non-existent. Bite picked up when the wind picked up. Alabama rigs was the key. That's what we've been throwing for the last 4 days, throwing in deep water, 15 to 25 feet, consistent for a week. And really look forward. I want to take this time right now, and I want to thank our service members that are deployed throughout Freedom's frontier. So it's pretty important. Let's give a big hand to our military personnel. That's a big fish.
That's a big fish. We'll weigh that one too.
Thank you. Mikey, anything you want to say?
All right, let's see if this is enough to take the lead. You guys need 13.25 and you have 14.31. All right, we're going to weigh this big one too, so. Sorry. Can you get ready? Yep. Hold him up again for the camera. There we go. All right. I'm ready when you are. Go ahead and throw him in.
Oh, I thought it was bigger.
628. Disappointment?
No.
No, I was going to say.
We're not
all
disappointed
right.
now,
You
like on the first day.
You're going to have me? Yeah, I don't want to grab you. Thank you. He was a little big for me. All right, you guys have anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank David. Obviously, David and I, we've been friends for a while. We're both service members from the Army, and that's how we met. We decided to fish Wild West for fun. We wanted to support Gary and Dobbins Rods, and we came out here just to have fun. And we fished all 4 tournaments and thought, hey, let's go to the championship, see what happens. And so this is where we're at. We're standing here on stage weighing in a 6.5 pounder.
That's right. Well, I want to thank you guys for your service, and you guys get to take a seat over here in the hot seat.
Right.
All right. All right, we're down to 2 teams to weigh. All right, sitting in second was Mike Spain and Dustin Robinson. They're going to need 13.63 to take the lead. All right, when you pull them out there, hold them up for our cameras. All right, Dustin, I'm sorry.
I can just say it's been a pleasure to be here. I mean, all these guys here are really talented fishermen, and being able to fish on Roosevelt. Wild West is I was in a year hiatus from tournament fishing. I just kind of stopped, and it's a circuit that really brought me back. All my friends that were fishing, so they really liked it, and the team championship was going to be at Roosevelt, one of our central lakes, instead of Mead or Havasu, so I thought it was a good idea. The payout was really good. The lake came up a lot from what I'm used to, so we spent 4 days total pre-fishing. It was completely different than I'm used to. It was really tough. The only thing we could catch them on was an A-rig and a chatterbait, even when it was flat calm. And yesterday we didn't have a fish in the boat till 12:30. We had nothing, and then from 12:30 to 2:30 we got a limit, a 5 and a 4, which got us here. Today we had a limit at 9:30, and we were calling all day. We just were looking for that big bite and never got a big one, but it was a lot of fun. I want to thank Mike, my fishing partners, our first season fishing together. It's his boat, tows it up here. Wild West for putting this on, and all these guys. Good competition.
There we go. Get bigger each time, don't they? All right, let's see if we've got 13.63 in here. $13.47. So close.
As I always say, the sport comes down to drops of water and seconds.
That's right. All right. Thank you so much for fishing with us. Do you have anything you want to say?
No, I think he's about
He said it all. All righty.
Rough and tough out there.
Thank you. All right. Let's take a minute here and talk with Mike and David. All right, guys. Are you feeling the nerves?
Yeah, first time I've ever been up here.
You kind of like it, though? I mean, it's kind of nice, isn't it?
It's kind of nerve-wracking.
Kind of nerve-wracking,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Is that the same way you're feeling?
I'm feeling that way too. Very nerve-wracking. Hey, can I thank Tom Jonovich and Sean Coffey?
Absolutely.
Our trailer broke down on the way up the hill, and
Tom was gracious enough to stop and Sean and help us out and got our fish here, or we wouldn't be sitting here right now. So guys, shout out to you guys. I appreciate it so much. Thank you very much.
All righty. Okay, we have our last team coming up to the stage. We have Ty Al and Russell Mortensen. Take the mic, Ty.
I'll take it.
I know. All right, show us what you caught today.
Angie, you ever lost your dog?
No.
That's how we felt all day long. I lost him, never found him. So we were running around scrambling to find the bite, and it sounds like we were doing the right thing. We were throwing the A-rig, and you know, all week long. The first 2 days we caught him on the Gary Yamamoto 5-inch Senko, and green pumpkin, baby bass were the two colors. Yep. Wacky rigging. I was wacky rigging. My partner Russell was Texas rigging. Has been an awesome team effort the first 2 days, and you know, yeah, we only got 4.
All right. Well, you guys need 1331 to win this thing. Let's see. Your 4 fish are going to go 506.
That's cute.
Congratulations, guys.
All right. All right. Our winners for our 2017 championship tournament are David Burns and Michael Perry. Thank you. All righty. Can you guys hold them up? Woo! All righty. I want to thank everyone for joining in to our final weigh-in for our 2017 Arizona Team Championship. Look forward to seeing you next year.
You bought her many years ago, and she's been there for you every day since. It's because you've taken care of her, pampered her. Only the best will do. That's why you choose Lucas Oil Marine Products to protect her. Every day she starts, gets you there, and gets you back, even after all these years. Lucas Oil Marine Products, because it's no fun to walk back to shore from the middle of the lake. Total performance. Nowhere could it be more defined than in the Ranger Z series. With unparalleled advancements, these rigs are driven to dominate. Coupled with Evinrude E-Tech's unrivaled performance and up to 500 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance, they're the ultimate fishing machines. The legendary leadership of the Ranger Z500 series. It's the kind of feeling nothing else can touch. Power your Ranger with Evinrude E-Tech.